I actually started this last year as a restoration, and at some point, one of the headlights broke off, and I didn't know what happened to it, so it becomes a post-apocalyptic luxury ride. The Lincoln Town Car itself actually goes back to 1922, when Edsel Ford gave a custom-built town car to his father. The Matchbox version, this one, is a representation of the car as it was produced by Ford from 1980 to 1989. It was the lightest Lincoln produced in over 40 years, and it was 10 inches shorter than its predecessor. Matchbox introduced it into the line in 1989, and they ran it until 1992. It made a one-year resurgence in 1997. I really didn't care much for the casting. It's got an awful lot of plastic, which factored into the idea of making it into a tracked vehicle. But first, let's pop it into the soup. So this is another story about the village idiots who became kings. Each wallowed in his own version of ineptitude, such that when it came to destroying the rest of the world, they couldn't even do that right. While New York and San Francisco and Moscow and St. Petersburg were inhospitable wastelands, Chicago soldiered on in the aftermath. Enter Herbert Cesario. Everybody called him Big Herb, and he was many things: a Bears fan, a beer fan, and he was a pretty fair mechanic. He was what you would call a man with skills. That was something worthwhile in what was left. Once the money collapsed, what a man could do for another became stock in trade. Interestingly enough, while initially excited by anarchy and the lack of a central government, many of the anarchists actually died off pretty quickly, since their only skill was bitching about shit, and nobody really wanted to trade food for that, so they starved. But anyway, Herbert, everybody called him Big Herb or Uncle Herb. He was stuck inside during a month-long blizzard one winter, and he got the great idea to attach a tracked bottom onto his Lincoln Town Car. There was a place near his called Blue Island Rental, and while nobody was renting anything anymore, stealing was certainly not out of the question. So one night he and his pal Bill went over and liberated a Bobcat backhoe. So he and Bill spent the next month and a half welding and fabricating. Now, you have to understand that Chicago is a dangerous place, and nobody should ever go anywhere there unarmed. So he and Bill made themselves some little missile launchers for the fenders and a couple of Gatling guns. You know, this is not hard to do when you have skills and tools. So that's how it came to be that Big Herb and Bill went cruising the streets of old Chicago, looking for whatever there was to be found. Oh, and they always bring beer. Da Bears. I hope you like the project. This is Time Rider, and I'll leave the light on for you.